everyone. Welcome to the Triple Crown Puroresu Podcast here on bodyslam.net. And joining me today, of course, as always, Ethan Black. And very happy for the next month. We're going to be graced by the presence of Lyric. Lyric and Ethan, welcome, man. How you guys doing?
Hi, I'm happy to be here. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Okay, we're happy to have you as well. Ethan, how's it going today, man?
I'm doing good, brother. We watched a lot of wrestling yesterday, so pretty excited to talk about today.
Okay, cool. So let's jump right into it. All Japan Pro Wrestling Champion Carnival Night 6 occurred today. And one thing that absolutely shocked me about this show, and I know you guys haven't seen it yet, but Lord Crew defeated Rei Saito in this, and it just didn't make any sense to me. Didn't make any sense to me at all. Lyric, I know me and you were both high on Rei Saito.
Yes.
Does it make sense? Lord Crew defeats Rei Saito?
Absolutely not. I'm actually really shocked about that one. Last night I caught up as far as night 5, and I think I just don't understand in making him lose to this, which is essentially a random foreigner, especially right after he pins the Triple Crown champion in this decisive victory. You know, this 20-minute decisive victory, literally just pinned Yuma Anzai. I will say I've been a pretty big fan of the tournament so far. I feel like and I said this last week, I feel like they've done a really good job of making it feel like anybody can win. However, this is a little bit too far.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was a great match yesterday against Yuma Anzai. Rei Saito gets the victory. I picked Rei Saito to win the B block, but it seems like Jun Saito is the one that they're pushing to win. He's got 8 points. He's leading the B block right now. Well, he's tied Yuma Anzai one today as well. He beat Hartley Jackson, who's probably not going to win a match at all in the tournaments. He's winless, but Anzai with 8 points, Jun Saito with 8 points. But this didn't make sense. Ethan, Lord Crew beating Rei Saito, man. Your thoughts on that, man?
Why? like what you guys said, like, I mean, the race out, that was my match of the show yesterday's show. Honestly, Lewis, I think you picked the wrong Saito. I think it looks like June might be winning at this rate, the B block, and Ray is only Ray can still catch up, but June doesn't have another match next weekend, I think.
I think Yuma Anzai is going to win the B block now. I think Yuma Anzai is going to win the B block. Maybe they've already pushed Rei Saito to a point where we know he's a great singles wrestler, and now they want to push Jun Saito. Maybe that's what they're doing. Because Rei Saito, in my opinion, is a better singles wrestler than Jun.
Yes.
I think we could all agree on that, right? Yeah.
I agree.
So I think maybe that. Okay, and so I think they're pushing Jun, but it didn't make sense to Lord Crew, and Cyrus. What are thoughts on Cyrus? Yeah, Ethan, what are your thoughts on Cyrus? Your honest thoughts on Cyrus. I know he's a good friend of mine, but say what you want about him. It's okay. What's your honest thoughts on Cyrus?
What a disappointing run. I'm just gonna be honest. That's so Lewis made your talk last week with Choki Japan. I thought that was dumb. I think Cyrus should have won that. Well, Kento, we kind of figured he was losing in that one. He beat Red Eye, but honestly, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. But I don't think he's getting far much, honestly. I think he might get maybe one more point, but that's it.
Yeah, he lost by count out to Yuma Yagi, by the way. So he lost in this one. What are your thoughts on Cyrus? Lyric?
I feel about Cyrus the way I feel about just about all the other foreigners in the tournament. It feels like a lot of people were kind of like thrown in. And it doesn't really, I still don't understand like some people's purpose in the tournament. And I will say, like, I agree with Ethan. The run has been a little bit disappointing. And this is just from somebody who's had never seen any of these people's, especially as far as the foreigners, I'd never seen any of their work before this tournament. And I haven't been particularly enthused. I will say, like, I can appreciate what was tried to be done in the Kento match specifically, like, really trying to like up the aggression, take it to the crowd and things like that. But I can't say that I've been particularly wowed. And I will say, it's not even just the foreigners. Everybody's performance in this tournament hasn't been particularly wowing. There's only a few people who I can say are consistently people that I want to watch every single night. But yeah, I haven't been particularly blown away.
Yeah, I think it's been disappointing also. I mean, I think they tried to build him up as the monster, and they tried to build up him and Kento, and then he loses his first match to Kuroshio, Tokyo, Japan, which I thought was a mistake. I think he should have just ran right over him. And then, he was expected to lose to Kento, and then he loses a disappointing countout loss to Yuma Yagite. So yeah, I don't see him getting any more points. Maybe he'll get 2 more points at the most. But yeah, it's been disappointing for Cyrus. Kento Miyahara beat Shotaro Ashino. So Kento Miyahara is atop the A block by himself with 8 points, which is, I guess, kind of expected, right? I think Miyahara and David Boy Smith are meeting each other on the last night to determine who wins I think that match is going to be the match to determine who wins the A block. Can you agree on that, Lyric? You think that's where they're going?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I do think that Kento's going to win A block.
Yeah, he's at 8.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, the best they could do is 12 or 13 if they do a time limit draw. But honestly, I doubt they'll do a time limit draw in this tournament. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't see a 30-minute time limit. If I had to, I could have seen Kento and maybe Yuma doing the 30.
I agree.
But they already had their match, so that's out the window. But if I had to pick one, I could see David Boy Smith Jr. if they want the shocking upset beating him. But I think Kento advances with 12.
Yeah, I think Kento. I think it's gonna be Kento against Yuma Anzai. Kento's gonna beat Yuma Anzai, and then he's gonna get the shot, and then Anzai is gonna get the win back over Miyahara. I think that's where they're going with that. But Kento, what's that?
Oh, I was gonna say I wouldn't mind seeing Enzai in the finals, but the reason I don't, because I don't really want to see the match. I mean, it'd be a good match, but like I feel like it'd be kind of pointless doing the preview of the final and then having the rematch like a month later. I feel like that would be kind of too soon.
That's a good point. No, you're right. So who do you think's going to win the B block then? Who do you think's going to win the B block?
I can see Suwama sneaking in there. I could see June.
Yeah, Suwama's not going to win. Suwama's not going to. I don't think Suwama's going to win the B block.
I can see June, but I wouldn't be surprised if Yuma inside.
I think it's going to be inside as well at this point. I think that we're at a point where I do think that is one of the things that hinders All Japan. A lot of times, because the roster is smaller, we see matches recycled a little bit more. Like I even think about, for example, when earlier this year we were heading into Kento and Yuma versus the Saito brothers for the tag belts. That match had happened how many times before that? It's just like
4 or 5.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's just like it's one of those things that with this roster, until like they're able to like reasonably expand, recycling matches is pretty inevitable, and it's one of those things that like I've like kind of made peace with, just because like we just had Kento versus Anzai a couple months ago for Kento's 15th anniversary, was it?
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
So, and I also think like when it comes to Anzai, his story really is about proving that he deserves the spot that he's in, proving like he can go up against these go up against everybody as champion, and like sometimes he's lost, as we've seen against Honda and we've seen against Ray Saito, but sometimes he's won. I think the Suwama match was a great example, and so I would like to actually see Anzai's growth up against Kento. I would like to see how much he's grown. I think that match that they had a couple months ago was good, but I don't think it was nowhere near the ceiling that it could be.
That was a good point.
No, I agree. So do you think Anzai and Miyahara get to the finals? Anzai beats Miyahara and then chooses somebody else, like a Ray Saito, to be his next challenger? Could you envision that happening?
I would be interested in that. I will say, out of the Ray Saito match, was so decisive. I think, it was 20 minutes of just about a 70-30, maybe 80-20 match of Anzai getting whooped for most of it and constantly coming back and not being able to overcome Rei Saito. And also it's one of those things that I just don't understand Rei Saito not being further up in the rankings, just because he is the guy as far as the fans are concerned. Like I tweeted about this last night. You look around those venues, it's his merch that's in the crowd. He is one of those people that people come to see. So like at this point, even if that's not currently the plan, I expect him to get a Triple Crown match fairly soon, just because his popularity is through the roof.
Well, he was supposed to get it.
Yeah, I mean, he
with
was,
Nakajima.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he got injured, so.
And then June took over.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a disappointment. Not that June took over, it was disappointment that he got injured and he didn't get the title match.
I could see.
But Hideki Suzuki. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ethan. Go ahead.
Sorry, Liz. I was gonna say I could see Enzo like going to Falls beat Kento, and because technically, excuse me, he has Honda. He lost to Honda and Ray, so I mean they could do a rare triple threat maybe at the big show. To say, or
have Honda face Saito when the winner faces.
Oh, that
they could do that.
I wouldn't hate that. Actually, I think I would enjoy that. I would enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want a triple threat between all three, but I'd rather have a number one contenders match between Honda and Rei Saito. I think Rei Saito would win. I think Rei Saito is going to be a Triple Crown champion. In the near, I don't want to say in the near future, but in the future.
By the end of the year, I would say by the end of the year, probably.
By the end of the year? Okay. All right. Well, Hideki Suzuki defeated Sawama. Kind of been like an octopus abdominal stretch and wasn't letting go, and Sawama wasn't tapping out. So Dan Tamura took his shirt off and threw the shirt in, like threw the towel in, and the referee stopped the match. So Suzuki defeated Sawama. What else do we have? Davey Boy Smith defeated Hokuto Omori. He's dropped the horse mask, thankfully. The last two matches, he's not wearing the stupid horse mask.
Thank God.
What else do we have? And that's it. We had a couple of like Seigo Tachibana and Musashi defeated Dan Tamura and Ryo Ino, and Jun Saito, Rising Hayato, and Rena Ayabe defeated Kushio, Tokyo, Japan. They had a game of chicken for a little bit. Why is there a GCW? I noticed there's a GCW logo right behind us for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure how I would take that. What's that? Let me see.
Is it under overlay? Maybe on the overlay.
The banners.
Must be a back. Yeah, we must have got the Game Changer Weekly by accident or something.
Well, we're the Triple Crown Puroresu GCW podcast for today. So I'm not sure how to get rid of it. Oh, wait a minute. Is it? I don't want to mess around with this here. Is that? No, that doesn't do it. All right. So I will just leave it. Anyway, so let's move on. Yuma. What's wrong with me? See, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I didn't get enough sleep last night. Yuya. I'm thinking of Yuma. Yuya Uemura wins his first title. The KOPW 2024 championship. I didn't really care for the match. Not into lemon eating, but Lyric, what's your take on the match against Great Khan?
So I understand that the KOPW title is supposed to be out of the box stipulations. Like, I completely understand that. However, I do believe that it's possible to have KOPW matches with out of the box stipulations and still have quality wrestling. I think Shingo Takagi was a great example of this. When you look back to the Road to Sakura Genesis last year during WrestleMania weekend, him and Hinare doing the first ever Ultimate Triad match, right? Excellent match. One of the best matches of last year, in my opinion. So I say all that to say that I can't quite say that stacking tires, eating lemons, and going through tables is, real enthusing. I don't know. Like I don't know. I in some places I am very excited about the momentum of New Japan. I think that they have a lot of talent that they haven't even scratched the surface of what they're capable of. However, I do think that there's still a lot of just unnecessary foolishness happening. And I don't know if it's just like they don't know what to do with some of these guys, or they're waiting for, like, a lot of the LIJ Bullet Club stuff to be out of the way. I'm not sure. But I can't say I hate it, but I definitely don't love it. And I'm not sure if winning this, even though it's his first title, I'm not sure how much winning this actually helps Yuya, especially after losing against a Great Khan. Like, we have to remember, this is the same title that Great Khan held up in front of Okada before he left, and Okada literally just ignored him and ran and walked away.
I still don't understand that, to be honest with you. I really don't get that. But that match, it was almost kind of like the Tangaloa one, just basically copy and paste and change a few things. Honestly, this should just been a tables match, to be honest with you. Yeah. Like that I thought this whole match went like 16 minutes. Did not need to go 16 minutes. Mm-hmm. I thought this was boring, honestly. If I wouldn't say the worst KOPW title match, I'd still say the Owens Toriano I Quit match from a couple years ago was horrible. That did not need to go 35 minutes, by the way. I mean, it's like, yeah, apparently the Owens or 28 minutes of it, sorry. Felt like 35. But like, I get you're trying to make it like the hardcore title, but it did not really need this title. It should be more like Shingo, I think, was the best holder. Same with Taichi. But I mean, I'm glad Yo won his title, but honestly, I did not care for this match. I thought this was the worst thing on the show, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't care for it at all. And there's no way that lemon that Great Khan was eating was not a gimmick lemon. There's no way that anybody could eat a lemon like that. I'm sorry. It must have been like a juicy marshmallow lemon or something. But there's no way he could have eaten. He's eating a peel and everything. It's impossible. He's not making any faces. But still, it was yeah, I know. The gimmick lemon. It was 100%. But yeah,
it should have been a tables match. It should just been a tables match, honestly.
Yeah, but doesn't KOPW stands for King of Pro Wrestling, right? So what does eating lemons have to do with being the King of Pro Wrestling? What is it?
I think the KOPW stipulation continues to fall short of what it was supposed to be. And what it was originally intended to be. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of turned it almost to like a joke. And I feel like a lot of the New Japan titles feel that way. A lot of the New Japan titles feel that way. That title does. The never open weight title constantly goes up and down depending on who holds it. Same thing with, like, the New Japan World Television title. I feel like we'll have a stretch where there's somebody really, really good holding it, and they will elevate that belt to make it feel so important, depending on whatever that title is. And then it'll immediately be put on somebody who immediately devalues it. And so with several of these titles, we keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's pretty frustrating. So
I also hate this. I think the junior title is starting to be a joke a little bit. I love the junior division, but like the whole belt stealing and like, haha, it's a non-title match now. Doki's like, nope, now it's an actual title match. I'm like, can we just get this match over with? I like Doki, but let's just get this match out of the way. Like, I'm tired of the belt stealing. Even Yo did it before he got injured. Like, I just hate the belt stealing gimmick. It's so dumb.
Especially with House of Torture being essentially who they are right now in New Japan. I do think that the junior title has been drastically devalued in the process. And I think what's the most frustrating is that it doesn't have to be. There's so many people. I look back to what was the show? Sakura Genesis. Yeah. That amazing 3-way junior heavyweight tag team match that happened. Guess what? None of these people, aside from Kushida, none of them have gotten junior heavyweight single shots yet. Clark Connors has never challenged. Janela Maloney is never challenged. Kevin Knight is never challenged. Kosei Fujita's never gotten an actual singles, shot at the junior heavyweight championship. There are options. It's just we just keep going in this same circle of, and then whenever that doesn't work, when everything fails, let's put the title on Desperado or Hiromu. And that's why there's only 2 legitimate stars in the junior division now, which is Hiromu and Desperado, but it shouldn't be that way, and it doesn't have to be that way. So I think like this year, Best of Super Juniors has to be a real prioritization of some of these guys on the roster who could have been at the top. It's just, I do think most of the problems that New Japan faces, it really does fall on booking.
Great point.
Yeah. Excellent point. I'm just sitting there going, wow, she's making some excellent points here.
Right?
I'm just.
But like even the number of points, how like Evo like spray paint it, and then Shingo had to like clean it on his YouTube channel. He's just cleaning it, and he's like, close enough. And there's still a little bit of black paint on it. I'm like, Shingo, you gotta clean it better, man.
It's not even just that. Like the belt is falling apart. The never open weight belt is falling apart, and it has. Like it's been like one of the plates is coming off. Several of the plates are coming off. It's just like it doesn't feel. It's certain things like I understand, like, Japanese wrestling tends to let their belts get worn down. Like, and it's kind of like a sign, a badge of honor. But it's just like these never belts. How did the 6-man belts end up more prestigious than the open weight belt? Who saw that coming? That wasn't the case 2 years ago, but that definitely is the case now. The 6-man belts are definitely worth more than that singles belt at this point.
That's sad. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of sad.
It is.
Yeah, that is sad. That is sad. No, I didn't see any other matches. Well, I'm sorry. The elimination match I saw. First of all, Jake Lee and New Japan Pro Wrestling. What are our thoughts on that? Were you excited? Were you meh? Well, what's the feeling on Jake Lee making a surprise appearance in New Japan Pro Wrestling? Who wants to take this one? Lyric looks like she wants to speak. So
go ahead, Lyric.
I'll let Lyric go.
I'm still not 100% come to terms with Jake Lee and Noah. So it's just like, oh my God, New Japan too. Like, I will say, I am really excited about this all together event. The one last year was such a pleasant.
I'm sorry. How come you're not okay with him being in Noah?
He doesn't enthuse me. And I've tried. I've watched every single title match of his, of his reign, every last one. But I'm just not into it. I wasn't into it, and I think that he has this faction, good looking guys, but he's consistently hasn't been a highlight of the Noah product for me, and I think that especially where Noah is now, they need people who can excite, who can inspire, and he hasn't been one of those people. And I am very excited for this All Together show. Actually, last year's All Together is how I got into All Japan. I thought it was fantastic. But at the same time, when I look at that graphic and I see on one side, it says Tetsuya Naito, Yota Tsuji, and Shingo Takagi. And then on the other side, it's David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Jake Lee. I'm like, how did this happen?
That's a semi-main event.
And it's just like, bro, it's insane. I can't say I don't understand it. I don't understand it, especially as somebody who actually watches Noah. Good looking guys and Bullet Club are nowhere near the same type of faction at all. Nothing in common. Do not do the same things. So for Jake Lee, first to come by himself into New Japan and then join Bullet Club, and it's just like, but not technically in Bullet Club. I don't understand it. And it's just like, if this is the representation of Noah, this is terrible for people who who don't watch Noah. Like if they think like, oh yeah, Jake Lee is the leader out there. I just feel like that's a gross representation, especially when you have like guys like Kano and Kiyomiya who just tore the house down, like, you know, in their match.
Yeah, I was gonna say I much rather would have seen Kano showing up and going after Tetsuya Naito. That match is more exciting to me than, you know. I don't have anything against Jake Lee. I was watching him when he was in All Japan Pro Wrestling. Had some great matches with Kento Miyahara. But I mean, what's Kano doing right now except
you know, he has
talking about wrestling Kosei Fujita. Yeah.
And so he has Fujita.
He better win that match, by the way. He better win that match, buddy. He better not lose to Fujita at all together again. I'll be very disappointed if he loses to Fujita.
That's the second match, by the way.
I'm actually not. I don't.
What's
I'm
that?
not as upset if he loses. Who?
Oh, I was just saying Kano and Fujita second.
I'll be upset. I'm. What's that?
I said Kano and Fujita. Oh, I'm trying to hold on, Lewis. Kano and Fujita's second match on All Together, by the way. They released a full card last night. Or this morning, I guess, technically. But
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was suspect Jake Lee showing up in Corkin Hall. That threw me up. And it helped Drew Maloney beat Naito. I mean, I guess you want to get the shocking win, but I think Maloney could have did it himself. He didn't need Jake Lee help.
Absolutely.
Is he part of Bullet Club, or is he just an honorary member? Because Philly's like, yeah, you're taking Gallows' spot in the elimination match on yesterday. And I'm like, cool. Okay. And then Jake Lee got eliminated by Tetsuya Naito. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I do think one. Yeah, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say there was speculation all over social media that, Jake Lee's in New Japan Pro Wrestling now. Jake Lee's leaving Pro Wrestling Noah, but Jake Lee did come out and say that he has no intention of leaving Noah for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think he signed throughout the year anyway. But yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. You were going to say something there.
Yeah, I was going to say I really did enjoy those singles matches, the LIJ versus Bullet Club singles matches to that point. I especially enjoyed Drilla versus Naito up until that point. I just don't understand why it had happened. Like, if you wanted to get an upset victory over Naito, I feel like Drilla, out of all those people, he was pretty believable. He might be listed as a junior heavyweight, but he's built like a tank. He's really good. I think it would, I don't think it would have been like the most surprising thing in the world for him to pull over upset over Naito, and for like Jake Lee, seriously, of all people, really, like really, like really, I just, and then it's just so, I just don't understand it. Just because, like, it's some people who I think are believable. Jake Lee just hasn't been believable, and then him coming out in the top hat and the glass, like he's
the Mr. Peanut mascot.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen Foster's Home for the Imaginary Friends?
Yeah,
Mr. Perryman.
Yeah,
he dresses exactly like Mr. So, like, in Foster's Home for the Imaginary Friends, it was a cartoon.
I was thinking of the Monopoly guy, the Monopoly character with the top hat.
Him too.
Yeah,
him too. But on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, it was a cartoon when I was growing up on Cartoon Network. There's like the caretaker over the house is like this rabbit, and he wears this top hat and he wears that glass just like Jake Lee, and he wears the coat. Like, it's the exact same thing. Look it up, Mr. Perryman. That's the name. And
okay,
I don't. It's
I'm gonna look it up right now, Mr. Perryman.
Yes, Mr. Perryman. I don't know. I just feel like LIJ and Bullet Club, the feud was already having a lot of positive momentum. I don't see Jake Lee, of all people, really making it hotter. Especially if he's by himself. Maybe I would feel better if I would feel differently if he had brought Jack Morris along, or Anthony Green along, or maybe I would feel differently if that had happened. If it felt more like a GLG Bullet Club merger heading into all together, even if it was just temporary, But I just don't understand the point of having a 6-man tag match when 5 out of 6 talent are from New Japan and only 1 is from Noah. It just kind of it throws me off.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, if they come together, they could be known as good-looking Bullet Club War Dogs.
You know?
I don't think they're gonna. I was expecting. I don't know. Maybe Jake Lee turning on Bullet Club. Then we get a Bullet Club versus GLG. I don't know where they were. I didn't know where they were going with that. But it appears. I think we're gonna get a Naito versus Lee 1-on-1 match eventually, singles match.
He did challenge him. So wait and see, kind of thing.
We probably will. Did I ask for it? No, but we probably will.
Okay. So yeah, I kind of still wish it was Keno. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they'll do a switcheroo at altogether, and Keno will take out Jake Lee, and Keno will take Jake Lee's spot in the match.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want that to happen.
But yeah, what's that?
I said not gonna lie, I kind of want that to happen now. Take Keno at the Vegeta match, put him in the semi-main, and put somebody against Vegeta.
Well, Keno's gonna beat Vegeta in like 3 minutes, so it's not going to be a hard match for Keno. So he can wrestle 2 matches.
I don't think it's going to be 3 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm just not going to be 3 minutes. I just don't want Keno. I just don't want Keno to lose. If he loses, I'm going to be very disappointed. If he loses to Vegeta, he's my guy. So if he loses, I will be somewhat disappointed. So what do we think of the elimination match? Where Naito kicks Jake Lee off the ring apron. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a good main event. What'd you guys think?
I didn't get to finish it, but I did see the clips of it, and I did see that of Naito kicking Jake Lee off the apron, and so that part made me happy. I'll say.
This felt like an over the top rope. I said,
so you won't be buying any Jake Lee t-shirts anytime soon, will you? You won't be buying any Jake Lee merchandise anytime soon, will you, Lyric?
Not at all.
No, not in the future. I thought the elimination match was fun.
Not ever.
I thought the elimination match.
You thought it was fun? Yeah. Yeah, it was a good match. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
What I was gonna say was,
I'm sorry. You was go ahead.
It felt like a lot of eliminations were over the top rope. Pretty much, this should have been an over the top rope match, pretty much, because I think Connors was the only one eliminated by pinfall, but everybody else was over the top rope. I'm like, you should just make this like a over the top rope elimination match or something. Because I find a lot of Japan elimination match. Go ahead, Lewis.
Didn't Bushi pin 2 people though? I thought he pinned two. I thought he pinned Didn't he pin Maloney and Connors, or did he throw one of them over the top rope? I thought he pinned
threw Maloney. He threw Maloney.
It was like real quick. He pinned one and then he pinned the other like 2 minutes later.
I gotta look. Let me
look at it. I know he both. Let
me see here.
Let's see what he gets. But anyway, while he's looking that up, I did you see the strong openweight tag match? Lyric?
That was really
I didn't
fun.
see that match. It was fun. Okay.
I didn't watch it. I think part of it is because I haven't seen it yet. I have fatigue of strong open weight tag matches with El Phantasmo and Hikuleo. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love them and I think that they're great, but it's just because it goes back to New Japan constantly. The unwillingness to expand the net for some of these titles, and I think we've seen it primarily in the junior division. We've seen it in the tag division of just the same guys who are rotating in and out. And so like I feel like I have fatigue there. I should probably go back and rewatch it, but I am kind of tired of seeing the same guys wrestle for the same belts over and over again. But I'm glad that TMDK retained. Good to see them have some gold.
So update. So Bushi eliminated Maloney over the top rope and he pinned Clark Connors.
Oh, he's okay. So I thought he pinned both of them. Okay. All right. Thanks for clarifying that, Ethan.
No problem.
Thank you, man. So we got a lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling shows coming up this week, actually. We got one on the 29th, one on the 3rd, and one on the 4th. Is there one specific match that we're all looking forward to the most? Ethan, you want to go? Ethan, you want to take it?
Yeah, I got actually the Monday show. I don't really see anything good on that show, to be honest with you. I'm really looking forward more to the Dontaku shows. Like I think the junior tag title match with Connors and Maloney against Bushi and Robo could be a lot of fun because that's the only junior title Robo hasn't won yet on it, which is kind of surprising, to be honest with you. I think the world title match between Moxley and Narita, I hope it's good. But, I mean, we all know House of Torture's going to get involved somehow. So I'm basically just waiting for that to happen. By the way, his match with Hobbs, it was kind of disappointing. I mean, I hope Hobbs is not seriously fully injured. Like, speedy wishes to him. But, yeah, I think the global title match between Nemeth and Tanahashi could be good, honestly. That was supposed to happen to Sakura Jensen's, actually. But I think something happened. I think Tanahashi got injured or something. Something happened.
He wasn't cleared yet.
That's what. Thank you, Lyric. I was like, I knew somebody got injured or something, but I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I hope.
How did he get injured? By the way,
He got injured in the middle match.
How did he get injured? Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. It was the middle match.
Go ahead, Lyric.
I was gonna say I pretty much agree. I'm more so looking forward to the Dontaku matches. I am very interested to see how those go. Same thing with the Ren Narita match. I think that I think I'm trying not to get actually, invested. Just because how House of Torture can go, but I do think that if it's not too much interference, I think that it can actually be pretty good. I think that Mox is one of those people, he can bring the best out of an opponent like Ren, and I think that his penchant for violence could go very well with Ren's penchant for shenanigans because he would be willing to stoop to that level. And so I think that this match has a lot of potential. I'm not going to really get super excited about it, but I have high hopes for it. I think that the World Television title match at Dontaku is pretty interesting. I do think that Jeff Cobb should win because honestly, I don't see the point of rerunning that match back if you don't actually plan on pulling the trigger on Jeff Cobb. I think Zack Sabre Jr., I have no desire to see him have a long run with that TV belt again. He's already done everything that he needs to do with it. The only reason why he still has it, he has it again, is because, Riddle didn't work out, which I could have told you that, but I digress. I think that David Finlay versus Yota Tsuji, I'm not sure. I'm not really enthused by, I can't say that I'm enthused by David Finlay as a competitor. I've really tried, but it hasn't clicked for me. And so those are really the matches that I'm looking towards. Everything else that I think is super interesting is on All Together. I'm actually really excited for that card. I think that's probably the upcoming show that I'm looking forward to the most.
Also, Shingo and Gabe, I forgot to mention
Gabe
that.
Kid become
yes. Oh, yes, that.
I was just going to say, does Gabe Kid become Yeah, that one. I was just going to say, does Gabe Kid become the Never Openweight champion? I think there's a good chance we might see him.
I think it's a possibility. I think it's a good possibility, and I think that he has the attitude and he has the talent to actually make that belt mean something. If it's supposed to be the BMF title, he definitely fits that bill. And, like I said, the Never Openweight title is another one of those belts that I felt like constantly had the same challengers rotated in and out. And so if Shingo does lose it, I would love to see him lose it to somebody like Gabe or possibly Hanare when he comes back. I think that those two guys would be excellent people who can really carry on that Never Openweight lineage and get it back to that spirit of, the days when Ishii and Shibata were fighting for that title. I think that Gabe Kid and Hanare had that spirit. And so I would like to see either of those win, but I still think that, Shingo, if he retains, I think it's also fine. But I think that Gabe Kid winning some gold is going to definitely help him as we advance the story between Bullet Club of him and David Finlay constantly rubbing heads, and especially because I think Gabe is definitely going to win at Resurgence. So he's going to win that New Japan Strong belt from Eddie Kingston at Resurgence.
I'll throw Lucky. I can see Gabe Kid winning both belts, the Strong and Never Openweight titles. I can see him holding those both, honestly.
And he's believable. He's one of the only people who I feel like, especially in Bullet Club, he's believable. He's one of the only guys who, if I see him win both belts, I could say, okay, that 100% makes sense. So I wouldn't be against it at all.
Can you see that, Lewis? Gabe been beating Eddie Kingston at Resurgence?
I don't know if he's gonna have both. I can't see him holding both belts. I'm sorry. I can see him holding one or the other, but not both.
I could see him losing the number openweight and then winning the strong, because him and Kingston are having a no world last minute standing match, so it protects Kingston from losing more. Because let's be honest, TK books all the AEW stars stuff outside AEW, but I think Kid might lose this one and then wins at Resurgence. But wait, either or, I could see Kid win a title in the future.
Yeah, I could see that happening as well. I could see him winning. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Lyric.
It's fine. I think there's a delay, but I think that Resurgence. I think it's inevitable that Gabe wins. For people who keep up with AEW, know that Eddie Kingston is kind of like on this spiral character arc of losing. He went from having 3 belts to where he loses the Continental belt on Okada's first night, in AEW, first match in AEW, and then, at Ring of Honor, Super Okada of Honor, he loses the Ring of Honor World Championship to Mark Briscoe, and so he has 1 belt left, and so I do expect him to lose to Gabe and go on his Mad King run, and essentially like be a heel probably for at least the rest of the year. So with Eddie's current character arc, I firmly expect for Gabe Kidd to at minimum win that New Japan Strong Openweight title at Resurgence.
Yeah, I could. He's going to win one or the other. He's going to be a champion very, very soon. Either if it's a strong title or the never openweight, but he'll win one of those belts. I just don't see him holding both. That's it. But he will definitely hold one of them.
Different.
You beg to differ? You said?
No, I said I don't see him holding both either, but I just wanted to be different. Screw it, might as well. I mean,
okay. I thought you said you beg to differ. I thought you said I beg to differ. I was gonna come over there. We were gonna have a steel cage match, man. If you beg
no, I can see Kid either.
We're gonna set up that War Games cage, but no, I'm just kidding. But here's how the main event, John Moxley match is gonna go. I think it's very predictable what's gonna happen. Moxley, of course, is not going to lose, but House of Torture is going to do their whole shenanigan thing. They're going to keep interrupting, interfering, until finally Shota Umino comes out, saves the day, clears the ring. John Moxley wins, and then Shota Umino goes to shake his hand, but takes Moxley out with the Death Rider, and then that sets up their match. That's what's going to happen. That's my prediction on what's going to happen.
I can see that. And
Shota Umino's going to hit him with a Death Rider.
Mox would be bleeding too. Don't forget that part, Lewis.
I know because I'm the guest booker. I'm booking the match. That's how I'm booking it.
Well, also remember the winner gets Shota at Resurgence anyways. So
yeah.
So that's so Shota's gonna set up.
I was about to say I could never sit through another Ren Narita Shota Umino match in 2024. It's not happening. It's not happening.
No. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you 100%. Since you were talking about All Together again, why don't we talk more about All Together again? Since I think we're all hyped for that. That main event is going to be amazing. Yuki Ueno, and I hope I pronounced these names right, but Keito Kiyomiya, Shota Umino against Shun Skywalker, who's Dragon Gate, terrific talent. I always have trouble with this one. Konosuke Takeshita.
Konosuke Takeshita.
And Yuya Uemura. So that's gonna be a terrific match, man. So what are our thoughts on Yuki Ueno? I think he's a terrific talent, DDT Pro Wrestling. But what are our thoughts on Ueno? I mean, I love Yuki Ueno. I'm surprised he's not like with Takeshita in AEW, because he could come over. He could have international appeal. He's just an incredibly talented professional wrestler.
I agree. I think that he, I feel like he's still loyal, very, very loyal to like staying exclusively in DDT right now. And I think that is one thing that's been, I do think like out of all of the pure relationships that AEW has, DDT is probably the most underrated one of just of being able to, obviously they have Takeshita fairly full time, but Takeshita still works DDT fairly regularly. He still keeps a pretty decent schedule in Japan. And so I think that relationship has moved beautifully. I think Ueno is great too. DDT is always a great time. And I think that I I was able to, attend a show while I was in Japan, but also what was the recent big show that they had? The one that had Konosuke Takeshita and Yuma Iyagi on the card, and it was really great.
Ultimate Party.
Yes, Ultimate Party.
Ultimate Party, yeah.
Show, top to bottom. I think I love this match. I think the only thing that's a little bit of a question mark is Yuya being in that spot. Yuya being in that spot on the Konosuke Takeshita and Shun Skywalker side, just because I will be honest, and it's not even hating on Yuya. When you look at the men in this match, and they're supposed to be the rising stars, Puro, he is not on their level. He is not. When you look on one side, you have Shota, you have Kaito, and you have who else am I missing?
Yuki
Ueno. And to be quite honest, and if we're being completely honest, the New Japan guys, on both sides of this match, are the least accomplished in this match compared to their peers from other organizations. Compared to Kaito Kiyomiya and Ueno, like both guys who have already obtained the top belts in their promotions, respectively, in Noah and DDT. On the other side, you have Konosuke Takeshita, who's also already maintained the top belt in DDT, is already, competing on a very high level in AEW, and, Shun Skywalker is one of the biggest stars of Dragon Gate. And so I think it's on the New Japan guys specifically, to really prove, that they can hang with some of the best Pure. I think that Shota Umino has proved that, he can compete on that level. I don't think that Yuya Uemura has. And obviously he has a championship belt now, and he won it from eating a lemon. So there's that.
And stacking tires.
And stacking tires. So, there's that this is what we're dealing with here, So but I am really, really, really excited about this match, and I'm really glad that they decided to main event with this 6-man match, because I think that it sends a very clear message that Puro is moving into the future, especially when you think about last year's match was very much so kind of the top guys, the aces of All Japan, Noah, and New Japan. And so just about every guy in that match was anywhere between 35 and 50, which is fine. It was one of my favorite matches of last year, but I love what this match represents. So I am very excited for it.
It's funny. Speaking of, it's funny. 4 of the 6 men in this main event are all champions, because Kimi is the Dragon Gate Tag Team Champion.
Yep.
Ueno is the KOD Openweight Champion. Uemura is unfortunately the KOPW Hardcore Champion. Whatever it's called. And then Shun Skywalker's open the Triangle Gate Champion.
Hey! We got kids watching. Come on, Ethan. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Totally. Yeah, it's whatever. But I thought the main event last year was actually super fun, like with the old heads against the aces of each promotion, and then this year it's like the younger talent. But I think Yuya's in there. I think he's taking the pin, honestly.
I hope so. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't think anybody else can afford to take it. I just Konosuke Takeshita damn sure isn't.
He don't need no.
He's not. Shun Skywalker, I'm not sure how generous the Dragon Gate is about letting their talent get pinned. Shota Umino certainly can't take it, especially that close to Resurgent. Ueno is the reigning, KOD openweight champion. That's not happening. And Kaito Kiyomiya, absolutely not. So Yuya, sorry.
He might be Kiyomiya may be the GHC heavyweight champion by the time this match.
Very true.
Because he's
very true. That is very true.
But also, Shun Skywalker, he's in on the night before that, Sunday, May 5th, on Cinco de Mayo. He's in a cage match with 4 other guys at Dragon Gate Stereo Live show. So he might not be 100% going in that match, but yeah, like we all agree, I think Yuya's taking the pin.
Yeah, Yuya's gonna take the loss there. Yeah, I was when I saw that I kind of agree. I was like, why is Yuya Uemura in this match? Who would you put in there in his place? I'm thinking Yota Tsuji, maybe.
I would have put Yota Tsuji.
Would be a better option.
100%.
I would agree. Yeah, Yota Tsuji.
I would have put Bushi in the 6-man match.
I think it's. I think honestly, you could have put somebody from Noah in that 6-man match, especially when it's already so unbalanced. With you have, like I said, 5 New Japan talent and 1 Noah guy. So I would have put somebody in Noah from Noah on the other side of that.
They could have put Keno. They could have put Keno in that match and have Omura take on Fujita. That would have been better.
No. No. Listen,
no,
I am a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Kosei Fujita, and I think that he is one of the top prospects in New Japan right now, easily. And I think it stands out for numerous reasons. I think that's why he was able to skip Excursion. I think that's why he's connected with the audience. I think that him having a match against somebody like Keno this early in his career is very, very fruitful, and I think is very, very crucial. I think that Keno has a way of pushing young talent in a very unconventional way, as you can see with Kaito Kiyomiya. And I think that Kosei Fujita, I think that these matches, I think that they could have a match that we will remember. I'm not sure that Keno versus Yuya would be that. Like I said, until Yuya Uemura expands his moveset, I don't think I'm going to be that high on him anytime soon. I have no intention to see arm drag, hip toss, repeat over and over and over again. And I think that exactly. And I think that Keno is so much more of a dynamic wrestler, and Kosei Fujita surely is a dynamic wrestler. We would get a much better match out of those two than Keno versus Yuya.
Okay. I apologize. Lyric.
No, it's okay.
For saying that, I'll wipe it from my mind.
It's okay.
There's a Stardom match also. Now, again, I'll let you guys talk about Stardom in a second. They had a big show. I hope New Japan Pro Wrestling has these names correctly, because sometimes they get them wrong. Is it Natsu Poi? Is that pronounced correctly?
He was close on that one.
Poi. And and Starlight Kid against Miyu Amasaki and AZM. So I'll let you guys talk about that one, because did I pronounce it wrong?
Oh no, just so it's spelled AZM, but it's pronounced Azumi.
Azumi.
So it's
okay.
just
I'm sorry.
So Azumi. It's just no, it's fine. It's just an abbreviation. So AZM is an abbreviation of Azumi.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some catching up and start watching more of Stardom. But yeah, is this a match that's worth watching? I'll ask right off the bat.
Yes.
So match worth watching? Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it becomes more worth watching coming out. It makes more sense now than it did when it was first announced, simply because when this match was originally announced, it didn't really make sense for Natspoi and Starlight Kid to be teaming together, because they are essentially from 2 completely different factions. Natspoi is a member of Cosmic Angels. Think of them as this bright and shiny babyface faction, versus Starlight Kid was a member of Wado Tai, which is a very much so a heel faction. Think kind of like the House of Torture of Stardom, but much better wrestling. Much, much, much better wrestling. But recently, about 48, not even a full 48 hours ago, during All-Star Grand Queendom, Starlight Kid was officially kicked out and attacked out of Wado Tai by her teammates. And Tam Nakano, Natspoi's tag team partner, as well as the leader of Cosmic Angels, came and saved Starlight Kid. So it seems that Starlight Kid will now be aligned with Tam, Natspoi, and Cosmic Angels for the foreseeable future. So this kind of changes things. And also Queen's Quest on the other side, Azumi and Miyu Amasaki. Queen's Quest is a little bit up in the air recently, especially with Utami Hayashishita leaving, heading to Marigold. The faction currently has no leadership. And despite her age, being only 21, Azumi is the longest tenured member currently of Queen's Quest. And so Miyu Amasaki is even younger than her. So it's interesting. And also Azumi is definitely one of those people being positioned, I would say, as the one of the female faces of Bushi Road. She's been getting a lot of international bookings with, AEW, Ring of Honor, alongside like Mina Shirakawa. So this is going to be really interesting, I think, in attracting viewers. And same thing with Starlight Kid in the sense of international bookings. She just faced Hanako at the Wrestling World in Taiwan show in the Stardom Showcase match. So I think this is going to be a really great match to show people what Stardom can do, and what they can bring to like this collective partnership. So I'm excited for it.
O2 line.
All right, you mentioned. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ethan.
No, that's right. No, I was gonna say I'm pretty excited. When the match was first announced, I was like, weird. Because it's like you got a heel group member in Starlight Kid, which we'll get to in a second, and not to play from like a babyface against the O2 line. I'm like, okay, I mean it's New Japan, whatever they like doing the mix groups together, but I think it's gonna be a pretty fun match. I think that's like third from the top. I think it's the first 4 matches. It's in the first half. I forget where exactly it's at, but I'm pretty excited for it. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm looking at, like I said, I got to catch up on Stardom. I got to watch more Stardom, so I'm looking forward to this one. One match that I'm really looking forward to is Big Japan Wrestling's Daisuke Sekimoto, Tomohiro Ishii against Masa Kitamiya and Jeff Cobb. My goodness, that's 4 bulls going after each other. That's going to be an absolutely hell of a match. It's going to be an absolute war. I love Sekimoto. I love Ishii. I love Kitamiya. I love Cobb. I don't know who to root for here. But I'm looking forward to this. So it's going to be a great match. Absolutely great match.
I'm excited for this. I'm excited. I'm not as familiar with the talent from Big Japan, but I looked him up when this match was released, and I think I'm going to have a good time. But I had the very great privilege of being in the building for Masa Kitamiya versus Tomohiro Ishii earlier this year at Noah. And that match was special. And I think this is the perfect way, hopefully, to set up that rematch. Masa Kitamiya, for people who aren't as familiar with him, I truly believe he is the best wrestler in Noah that a lot of people haven't heard of. And I think that he is a hidden gem.
I agree.
I think that I don't understand why he's not in the world title picture. And I think that the only thing that's really harming his career is the lack of international exposure. I hope he gets some international dates this year. I hope he gets to really show people who he is and what he can do, because Masa Kitamiya is absolutely transcendent. And I think that, Cobb and, Ishii, we know these guys. Like, we know that how good they are. We know, like, that they're solid. There's a chance that, by the time this match takes place, Jeff Cobb could be a champion and have that New Japan World Television title. But this match, when it was announced, definitely one of the ones I'm looking most forward to. This is a meat match, and I'm excited.
Well, Kitamiya is going to be part of the UK tour, so he's going to get some international exposure there. So he's part of the UK tour in September. So but I would love. I'm surprised he's not even at least the national title picture. I would love to see him win some sort of title, whether it's the national title and then build up to the GHC Heavyweight Championship. But he's a terrific talent, and I'm surprised that he hasn't been, except for the tag team titles with Naba, he hasn't really been in any title picture as of late. But he definitely deserves to be, and I hope he gets some great exposure when he's in the UK. And I would love to see him up here in Canada. Hopefully, we'll see him here one day, but in the US as well. But I agree, Kitamiya. Ishii. I know some people pronounce it Ishii. Some people pronounce it Ishii. What's the correct pronunciation of his name? Does anybody know? Is it Ishii?
I've been saying Ishii. I've been saying Ishii the whole time. So
Kevin Kelly.
I don't know which one is the right one actually. So
okay, yeah, I hear both, so I call him Ishii. But yeah, Ishii against Kitamiya. And I'm very jealous that I only watched it on my computer and you were actually there live. So I'm very, very jealous about that. Now I want to get to Japan even more now. But that was a terrific match between the two. and hopefully we'll get another singles match. I'm surprised that Yuya Aoki is not a part of this. He's the best wrestler, in my opinion, in Big Japan Pro Wrestling, and I'm surprised he's not a part of this this show. What do you think about that? It seems like they always kind of leave him out of the big shows for some reason, Ethan.
Yeah, I honestly like Sakimo is the only Big Japan representative in this whole show, which is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I think that the meaty man slap and meat tag match, I think I can see that going to a double count out, protect all 4 men. But yeah, I'm surprised.
Someone's going to win that match. Someone's going to win that. There's going to be a winner in that one. They're not going to go. I think Sekimoto's probably going to take the pin. I don't see Cobb. I don't see Kitamiya. I don't see Ishii. But Sekimoto's going to take the loss there.
I think that.
By the way, guys. By the way, I don't mean sorry. By the way, we got almost 350 people watching us live. I want to thank everybody that's watching us live right now. So thank you everybody. It's at 3:45 right now. So we're almost at 350. So thank you everybody who's watching right now live. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, Lyric. You were gonna make a point.
Go ahead. Yeah, I think that going back to what Ethan said about Big Japan, like they only have one representative, and I think that I'm not sure if there was a booking conflict or something, but I think the Astronauts are so hot right now, like probably the hottest tag team, in Japan right now, and so. But they're booked and busy just about everywhere. And I think that I would have really enjoyed seeing them on this card just because of their international profile consistently being raised. I really would have enjoyed seeing them on this card. And so maybe they'll be at the next show. There's another show scheduled fairly soon, right after this one. But yeah, I think that is probably the most glaring omission from this card is definitely the Astronauts if Big Japan is considered as a partner on this card.
Can we put Astronaut to World Tag League, please?
Well, yes. Yes.
Yes. Well, I was thinking Wrestle Magic. Pro Wrestling Noah's Wrestle Magic is coming up, and there's an open challenge for Jack Morris and Anthony Green, the GHC heavyweight tag team titles.
Astronauts.
Could we see the Astronauts? Could we see the Astronauts answer that open challenge?
I would love that.
Could we see them answer that open challenge?
This is the third time.
I know. I think we spoke about this last week as well. But
Lewis,
I would love to see them challenge. I would love to see them. I'm hoping we see either that or is Keno on the show? Is he booked on the show? If not, I would love to maybe
show?
Wrestle Magic. I don't think.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe him and Owada will answer. I know it's going to be one of those two teams. I think Keno and Owada or the Astronauts answering. As long as it's not the Mummies again, the Mummy Brothers. That'll be. I won't be happy if we see the Mummy Brothers.
It wasn't the Mummies that on the season finale. That was Misaki Musuki and Samushi Yokosuka from that's past Monday or the last Monday season finale.
Yeah, and I think it's a mistake that Pro Noah is making this a pay-per-view on the same day that Wrestling Dontaku is free on New Japan World. So I think it was a mistake making it a pay-per-view. Plus, they raised the price. They said we're going to have a lot more content, and the first thing to do is the first big show after they raise the price is a pay-per-view. So I'm a little disappointed that I have to pay extra to see that. But I'll be watching New Japan World on May 4th. Are we going to watch the pay-per-view? Is everyone going to watch the pay-per-view?
Yes, I'll be watching it. I do agree about the Wrestle Universe stuff, though. And I think also just the price has been raised and we've been promised a lot of things, but we also haven't seen it. Like, for example, I don't think Sendai Girls is on Wrestle Universe yet. We were told that was going to be a part of the package. So whatever. I'll be watching the pay-per-view somewhere.
Well, I remember
did they say 01 is supposed to be part of Wrestle Universe as well?
01, Michinoku Pro, and Sendai Girls, and now Marigold. Yeah. So those 4 are supposed to be a part.
The only Sendai Girl show they had was from the March 17th, I believe was the last. But But it's funny, like with Wrestle Magic, I remember I got the notification for anyone who's Wrestle Universe members. They're like, you get like a certain price taken off if you buy the pay-per-view. But honestly, I'm just gonna probably go find a free stream. I'm gonna be honest with you. For Wrestle Magic.
You know, I didn't want
Sorry, we don't watch illegal streams, Ethan.
No.
You know that.
Oh, don't give me that BS, Lewis.
Ethan, come on. We don't watch illegal stream. We pay for our wrestling. You know,
yes, we do.
Yeah. I pay for most, but hey,
all right, Ethan.
Yeah, Lewis, don't give me that. Yes, we all know you've done it a few times.
No, I don't. Actually, I pay for it. If I can't afford this, if I can't afford the pay-per-view, I'm not watching it. So that's my thing. I don't.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'll probably. I think you get 30% off. So I'll probably just
it's a 1,000 yen discount for members.
I might buy it.
Okay, yeah. So I'll probably order it because I want to watch Kiyomiya win the title. If he's going to win the title, Wrestle Magic. I think we all agree on that. That Keito Kiyomiya is going to win the GHC Heavyweight Championship. Is that fair to say? Is that fair to say, everybody?
I'm not 100%.
You think he's gonna?
I do think he has a great chance to win, but I'm not like, oh yeah, this is a done deal yet. But I do think he has a great chance of winning.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's a done deal. I think it's a done deal. That's my prediction. Another match I'm looking forward to is Shuji Ishikawa. Another match I'm looking forward to is Shuji Ishikawa versus Ninja Mac with the hardcore title. That's gonna be a great one as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for that.
But I know there was a huge Stardom show. I haven't seen it, so if anybody wants to talk about what was it called? All-Star Grand Queendom 2024. Queendom. Yeah. So anyone want to talk about that? I know there was a big main event. Lots of big matches. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Who wants to start talking about Stardom? Yeah.
I can. I think that compared to last year, I don't think that this match was nearly as good as it could have been. I'm not this match. This card was nearly as good as it could have been. However, and the undercard was pretty underwhelming, but the matches that did deliver were excellent. Like I would say, if you just started watching the card halfway through, let's say from the Goddesses of Stardom title 4-way match on up, just about perfect. I would say like this, just about a perfect card. This year there was only one title change, which was the High Speed Championship, which was pretty inevitable. Saki Kashima was obviously injured. So they put the title on Saya Kamatani, which is very interesting. Just because the high speed belt is a little bit beneath where she's been already, because she's already won the white belt, the Winter Stardom Championship before. But like I said earlier, Queen's Quest is in a whole brave new world with Utami Hayashishita going. So Saya Kamatani is now having to kind of carve her own path just because she spent so long, with Utami. They were a tag team, Aphrodite. But that was just a kind of like a throwaway match as a match. But that Goddess of Stardom tag 4-way was excellent. It was fast, it was quick, and it did the job. Crazy Star retained, and I believe that Crazy Star, Mei Seira, and Suzu Suzuki are probably one of the best tag teams in the world right now, regardless of gender. Those two, the things that they can do, the things that they are able to do with their bodies, the things that they are able to do together, insane. Like, they're absolutely insane. I think they're both under 23? Like,
I think so, yeah.
Absolutely insane levels of talent there. And they were challenged after that match by FWC, which was Hazuki and Kaguma, for a one-on-one tag team match for the titles. There was I'm saving the best match for last. There was the Wonder of Stardom title match, Saori Ano versus Hanan. They went 21 minutes. This match was really good, but I felt like it had the wrong winner.
Thank you.
Hanan was the Cinderella tournament winner. She's 19, but I think she is the future ace of Stardom. The match was really good. This was certainly Saori's best singles match in a very long time in Stardom. And I think Hanan has continuously just been proven that she can perform up on that level. I wouldn't, like I said, the only problem that I have is that Hanan lost. That's the only problem I have with this match, but they've been building towards Saori versus Natsupoi for the white belt, for Natsupoi to take that white belt from her for a long time. So I understand, but I would have gone with Hanan here. And then the main event was Micah versus Momo Watanabe in a 3 stages of hell match for the World of Stardom Championship. So the first fall was just a regular, normal match. The second fall was a hardcore match. And then the third fall was a last woman standing match. So I think that this match was the first fall was certainly the strongest, of course. And then the second fall was pretty good. And then the third fall, I didn't hate it. I think that it kind of really spoke to the exhaustion that both women had felt up to that point. They were very clearly exhausted because this match went 35-05. Like I said, the only problem I really have with this match is the winner. And I love Micah. I'm a huge Micah fan. And I love Micah. And I was in the room when she won the title. But Momo Watanabe has probably been screwed over for the red belt. I can't even put in how many times she's tried for that belt and lost. And it's kind of I kind of felt like it's almost make or break. Like, if she doesn't win now, is she ever going to win? Just because Momo constantly gets built up to these big spots and doesn't win. But the biggest match of the night, the best match of the night, currently sitting at 9.45 on Cage Match, which is crazy. IWGP Women's Title match, Mayu Iwatani versus Saori. Wow. Just wow. And the crazy thing is I think they have a better match in them. I'm positive they have a better match in them. This was as world class wrestling gets. This was it. Like these two, Mayu retained, but I don't think this is the last we see of these two. Trying to think of anything else that happened that I can't remember. Oh yes, things coming out of that match. Like I said, Starlight Kid gets beat up and kicked out of Oedo Tai. And so it looks like she's heading over to Cosmic Angels. After Mina Shirakawa faced Natsuko Tora, who is in Oedo Tai, that ended up in a disqualification. And because Mina starts getting beat up by Oedo Tai, and a returning Thekla comes back and essentially beats down Mina and announces that she is joining Oedo Tai. Thekla was in Donna Del Mondo, which dissolved earlier this year. And then she went on hiatus to deal with some injuries and things like that. And so this is her first time back in Stardom with a new look, and she's joining Oedo Tai, and she's declaring war on idol culture. She's now saying she's going to kill all of the idols. So Mina Shirakawa, Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, all of the girls who came from the idol scene, she says she's going to kill them all, and Oedo Tai is going to help her do it. So that is probably one of the biggest stories coming out of Stardom. And then also after the Mayu Iwatani Saori match, Sakasa Fujimoto came out from Ice Ribbon.
I pop for that.
Oh my gosh. Well, yes. So this is huge because, like I said last week, Arisa Nakajima is retiring later this year. So Arisa Nakajima and Sakasa Fujimoto, they are on a tag team called Best Friends. They were scheduled for a match with Thunder Rock years ago, which is Mayu Iwatani and Io Shirai. But for some reason, it never got to happen. Then obviously, Io goes off to WWE, so it never gets to happen. But obviously, before Arisa retires, the challenge has been made. So at some future event, don't know which one yet, it's going to be Sakasa Fujimoto and Arisa Nakajima versus Mayu Iwatani and a partner of her choosing. So that's probably one of the other biggest stories coming out. I still don't know who the next red belt challenger is. We do know who the next white belt challenger is. There's going to be a number 1 contenders match between Natsupoi and Ami Sourei. and the winner will face Saori for the white belt, the Wonder Stardom Championship at Flashing Champions. So I think that was it.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? As soon as it's over, I'm subscribing to World of Stardom. I'm going to subscribe to Stardom.
Yeah, let's go, Lewis.
Because just listening to you talk about it, I'm getting excited just listening to you. Like, holy crap, this sounds amazing.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm going to have to subscribe. I'll have to subscribe. How much do they charge now? How much is it a month?
It's like less than $8 American dollars. So it'd probably be about 10, 11 Canadian.
So like, it's weird with the yen because like 1 month it'd be like 8 something.
I'm subscribing 100%.
Brother, you need to.
I'm subscribing 100% because I was going to say I want to be involved in this conversation because it sounds amazing. It sounds amazing.
I was like, honestly, like, I agree with what everything Lyric said. Like the Mayu Itani Sarai, that's a 5-star match easily. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull a Dave Mel's. That was 6-star. The 3 Stages of Hell match was great. Honestly, I agree with Lyric. Me and Lyric said this last week. But Watanabe should have been the winner. I agree with the Wonder Star. Hanan should have won that easily. I like Anu, but she don't really need it anymore. The God Storm Tall match was excellent. Sorry, Kid getting kicked all the time. Honestly, I was not expecting that. Tekla comeback looked like a badass. That was great. I did recognize her. I was like, oh my god, it's Tekla. Because last time I seen her wrestle, she had like the brunette hair.
She's brunette, yeah.
And now she's fine. Her backstage promo, but if you haven't checked it out, watch it. Great. I think she could be a future 5-star Grand Prix winner. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I think that she could, but I also think that like I interviewed Tekla at the beginning of this year while I was in Japan. I got to actually interview her in person, and she talked about like her goals of when she came back and when she came back from hiatus. And I think a lot of it is wrestling internationally, and I think that I do think like winning singles gold in Stardom is a goal for her, but I think she's looking to take over the world. And I think that's one thing that she said, like, when she talked about in the ring, when she, started beating up on Mina, it was just like, you've been doing everything that you want lately. I see that, while she was gone, Stardom, like the borders have now essentially dissolved. Stardom's now open to the world. The girls are being able to travel, do dates all over the world. She's just like, if everybody else is doing what they want, I want to do exactly what I want. And I think people should keep a big eye on her as it relates to things like Forbidden Door, as it relates to like, a lot of these big international shows, even something like a Wrestle Dream. I think she has expressed that, as far as the American companies, AEW has probably piqued her interest more than the other. So I think like the possibilities are endless with her. And also like she's done, just about everything that she's been in Stardom for a while. So I do think like this will probably be her last run, but I think that it's going to be a very, very, very strong one. Very strong one.
I agree. Also, and Rena retained her future Stardom. That was like the opening match of the show. But honestly, like Lyric said, Lewis, if you do watch it, just start from the Goddess of Stardom title match down. That's really all the matches you need to go watch. And also a Stardom World. Remember you were talking before. I know a lot of people were complaining like shows weren't live. Then you gotta wait like 3 to 4 days for them. So a lot of them are actually being live now, which I'm actually glad they're doing on Stardom World now.
Okay.
Which I'm still. So I mean, if you don't want to wait the day or 4 days, depends what show it is. Like you can watch it live now, which that's a really good step.
Okay.
That was one of the things that I think made it very hard for me, like personally, to like stay into Stardom, like especially with the house shows and stuff. Like obviously I will watch the big shows, but constantly like if a show is happening today but you can't see it until next week, in addition to all the other wrestling that's going on, it's impossible to like stay on track and like stay up to date. And so
it's like there's no point watching it
exactly now. And so I'm really glad that like with things going live pretty much immediately for the most part now, I think that's going to really change the game. And then also with them, other big news that came out of this week, I can't believe I didn't say this. It's been official that New Japan has essentially now taken ownership of Stardom. They are merging corporate to make one company.
That's right.
One company. So,
I forgot about that actually.
Yeah, so that's going to make it a lot
easier. I meant to bring that up. Thank you, Lyric. Thank you.
And so that's gonna make it pretty easier for them to like do cross promotional stuff. And hopefully that means that we can get them on one streaming service. I'm gonna be honest, I hate Stardom World. It's the worst service out of all the services. And so if we could get New Japan and Stardom on one streaming service, that would be great. And I think also we're already starting to see the benefits of that with the schedule. There's a Stardom pay-per-view announced for June 22nd, which is a good thing because for the first time in 2 years, it is not, the Stardom pay-per-view is not overlapping with Forbidden Door. So Forbidden Door being on June 30th, this almost ensures that there will be Stardom involvement on the Forbidden Door card this year. So that's super exciting stuff.
Yeah, I would love to have New Japan and Stardom on one streaming service. I've always I'm always like, well, Wrestle Universe has TJPW and Pro, DDT Pro. Like, why don't we see Stardom and New Japan Pro Wrestling? They were both owned by Bushiroad. Like, put them together on one, and hopefully that happens now. And even if they raise it like by $5, I'd still get it. I'd still pay for it. But yeah, hopefully they'll do that. Do you think Marigold has any chance of really competing with Stardom at this?
Yeah,
100%.
I do.
100%.
Right now, they do. Do you think we're gonna see a mass defection? Think we'll see a mass defection from Stardom town? Okay.
I don't think the thing is everybody who was going to leave for the most part now has already left. The only big question mark is Mayu Iwatani.
Okay.
And the thing with her is she's essentially like a daughter to Rossi. Like she, out of the 3 daughters of Stardom, her, Io Shirai, and Kairi, she's the only one who stayed. You know, the other 2 obviously went to WWE. They're very close, but most of the Stardom deals ran ended in March. She's the only one who has a longer deal than most of the other talent because there's a movie coming out about her life this year. It's called Runaway Wrestler. It actually comes out, I think, next month. And so she's probably the biggest question mark of, will she go to Marigold? Will she not? A lot of people are saying she is. She's saying that honestly, she's changed. She's decided that she won't. But we really won't know until her contract is up. But I do think that when it comes to Marigold, Stardom is not even the issue anymore as like, oh, people defecting. It's everywhere else in Joshi land. Like, for example, like Actress girls lost almost their entire main event scene. Yep. Like they lost almost everybody. I think Marigold is immediately competitive because of the streaming deal. Like they've already sold out all their tickets for their first show that have gone live. They have a few recognizable faces, but also I do think having that Wrestle Universe deal off the rip, it immediately establishes them as a major competitor just because their stuff will immediately be accessible to both Japanese and English audiences on a streaming platform that a lot of people already have. So yes, they are very much so a legitimate competitor already.
I remember speaking of
so
Stardom.
Do you think? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Speaking of Stardom and Wrestle Universe, apparently Okada, the president of Stardom, said that he was trying to get Stardom on the Wrestle Universe, but they went with Marigold instead.
Which I think is fine. Which I think is fair, just because at the time it was a little bit. It's still kind of weird. Like you want a Bushiroad product on a cyber fight, service because that is at the end of the day. Wrestle Universe is mostly a cyber fight. Obviously, there's some promotions that are independent of cyber fight on it, but for the most part, that is a cyber fight product. So I could understand that. Like truly, if you want to move Stardom's library, you're gonna have to work it out with New Japan. Like I think that New Japan World, especially with all the upgrades and stuff, that is the place where Stardom should live digitally, 100%.
Yeah, I don't think you will ever see Stardom on Wrestle Universe.
No.
0% chance. 0% chance we'll see them on Wrestle Universe.
Especially now.
Especially now, yes. There's a less than 0% chance now that we'll see them on Wrestle Universe. With Marigold coming to Wrestle Universe, or do you think Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling is maybe a little upset that there might be a better women's promotion on the service now?
I think, you know what? I think better might be a stretch. And I think one of those things I think it's one of those things where they probably could and they probably should be mad that their digital territory has been kind of like encroached upon. But the thing about TJPW that I really admire, and I don't get to watch them as much as I would like to, but they do their thing. Like TJPW does their thing and they do it very well. They know their audience, they know their roster, and they are loved for it. They have a pretty steady, they have pretty steady attendance numbers. I never really see people complaining about their booking for the most part. And when they have a huge international presence that I think a lot of places would kill for. When they do shows here in America, they sell out immediately. Immediately. Yeah. The last few shows that they've done here have sold out immediately to where they've even started, thinking about doing shows outside of just WrestleMania week, just because their stars have done so much organic work to raise their profile with people like, Yuka Sakazaki, Miyu Yamashita, Maki Ito, and then like over, on the Japanese side, the people who primarily wrestle in Japan, like Miyu Watanabe, Mizuki, Shoko Nakajima. I think that TJPW is one of those organizations that, this probably is like, it'll be trouble in the short term, maybe, but I think they'll be fine because they just do their thing. Like they focus on themselves. And I think that that's why they've been able to maintain levels of success because like they are pretty focused on themselves. But Marigold also, like, the roster, depending on who you ask, some people say it's, the strongest roster ever. Some people will be like, oh, it's not that great. Like, like Julia was a very polarizing figure in Stardom for her wrestling. Same thing with Mirai, pretty polarizing. Like, some people genuinely, I personally wasn't a fan of Mirai. I felt like she was overrated and she kept getting pushed in positions that other people probably should have been in. Yutami is a star. Like I will say, she's probably one of the best wrestlers of our generation, hands down. Mai Sakurai, some people, were fans of her ring work. Some people felt like she sucks. I liked her, but it's just that Marigold roster is pretty polarizing. So it's interesting, like from a wrestling perspective, the type of quality they're going to be able to create because it's a lot of different styles going on here. And also the actress girls are, they have a different style than, some of the Stardom girls. Like it's that idol culture. So only time will tell.
Yeah, the word better was I should have used the word better. I should have used the word another women's promotion with
another major.
I shouldn't have used the word better. Yeah, that was a mistake. So I apologize to everybody.
Oh no, it's fine. I think it's one of those things that what Marigold does bring is another major Joshi women's promotion, which I think the scene has been lacking greatly, of a actual competitor Joshi promotion who has, infrastructure to be able to be a leader off rip. I think that we used to see it, and maybe the 2000s, there were a lot of top Joshi promotions, but not so much anymore. I would say like Stardom and TJPW have kind of been those top two, and even so, that gap between Stardom and TJPW was still pretty substantial. So this is something that I will say the scene has been needing another major promotion. So I do think like it's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out.
Yeah, I agree. And with TJPW, and I did hear that again, like you said, very popular in the States, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see like more US tours, not just on WrestleMania week, as you said. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like more US, even if they come to Canada. I think they would do well here in Canada. But yeah, I expect to see more international tours from TJPW. They have a great talent roster, and I'd love to see a live show, especially when I go to Japan in 2 or 3 years.
Them and DDT, or they work so well here in America. The TJPW and DDT,
yeah. Speaking of DDT, we'll end it with this because we're running at 90 minutes right now. We're at 300. We have 383 live viewers, so that's terrific. But DDT Pro, the King of DDT 20th anniversary tournament is coming up. Real quick, Ethan, who do you think is going to win the tournament?
Chris Brooks.
Chris Brooks. Interesting. Okay.
Did we win
Lyric, who
last
thinks
year?
going to win that tournament?
He did win last year.
Chris Brooks. I think he did win last year. Yeah, Chris Brooks did win last year, and then he wound up winning the title.
Oh.
But yeah, so Lyric, who do you think's gonna win?
I'm gonna go with Wayno.
You know what?
Is he in the
going with
tournament?
Wayno as well, only because
he's racing
in the tournament. Yeah, his first.
Round.
Yeah, I was gonna pick a Wayno as well because I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna pick Takeshita to be his his challenger because I don't think unless I'm mistaken, I don't think he's ever defeated Takeshita in a singles match. I think he's he's winless against Takeshita. Yeah, so I think that's the one win he wants to get, and I think he's going to get that win. He's going to win the tournament. He's going to defend it against Takeshita. He's going to finally get that win, successfully defend the title against Takeshita. So that's what I'm picking. That's what's going to happen. Yuki Ueno is going to win the King of DDT tournament.
Yep,
that's my pick.
I like that.
All right. Thank you, Lyric. Thank you. I appreciate that. At least you like something. At least you like something I said. At least like something. The entire 92 minutes we've been on, I've been waiting for you to say, I like that. I like that opinion. Finally at the 92.
Yes.
Finally at the 92-minute mark, you finally say
it. Yes. Hey, better late than ever.
It's funny how this month there's a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, no, there you go.
There's a lot of tournaments.
And then Super Junior start. It's funny, Super Juniors and Resurgence start on May 11th.
All right.
Like, oh, goody. All right, Lewis, what were you gonna say?
All right, so should we wrap it up? Should we wrap it up and come back next week and talk about everything that's going? It's got a busy week this week, and with us, a lot of shows. We'll come back next week, same time, and talk about it some more. Lyric, thank you so much for agreeing to be with us for at least a month. And I'm going to say on air, I hope it's longer than a month, but at least it's going to be for the next month.
Definitely.
And until next week, guys, take care, enjoy the week, and stay safe, everyone.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.